So the next one I'm going to show you is my take on Wim Hof method, which if you go and research it, Wim Hof method is Tummo, which is an old Himalayan method for heating the body. There are very few YouTube videos about this, and when you see it, you'll see the bits that Wim's pulled from it. But there's a lot more to it than that. So Wim simplified it, put it with the, well, he says he's put it with the cold and the mindset and the breathing, but that's Tummo. I mean, they're in the Himalayas, it's cold, right? The best Tummo practitioner would be the guy who could dry the most wet sheets that they put on him in the cold. So he's obviously dedicated himself to the practice that so much that they just lay these wet sheets on him, and then you keep steaming them up. There's even a story of this like 13-year-old kid who escaped from Tibet, I think it was. This is roughly it, don't quote me, but he basically walked across the Himalayas, and they couldn't believe it. He just had his monk's robes that you've probably seen him wearing, and sandals at most. And he made it, and they were like, how have you done that? Well, of course he's doing Tummo, and this is the whole thing. You can do more with your body than you've been taught in England at school or anything like pretty much anywhere. So even if you go to a yoga class, they ain't teaching you this stuff, which is really essentially yoga anyway. To become one union with the cosmos. Yoga is not an exercise, quote unquote. Sadhguru, who's he? Well, Google him if you've never heard of him, but you should have done by now. 5 million followers on YouTube, and he does videos with Will Smith. I mean, come on, Will Smith, king of the world, right?
So, you're listening to a story all about how my life got flipped upside down.
So I'd like to take 2 minutes, sit right down. Tell me how we can repeat the
Wow. You need to be careful because you operate in a pneumatic system. So when you breathe in, you're creating a pressure, it moves your lymph. But basically it's cleaning your body up. You need that lymph flowing, you need to be hydrated. I've had 3 glasses of warm water already. It's got to be warm. Don't do cold. Do warm. It flushes your system out. It's like washing the pots. You don't wash the pots in cold water. Well, if you do, well, it doesn't work very well. You know this. Because it's grease and you've got food which has got fat. You put cold water onto fat. You know what happens. It solidifies in most cases, especially stuff like coconut oil. You'll see it the most. But yeah. So what's the point I was making? Oh yeah, that was it. So the other breath you can do is the breath of fire. So it's out through the mouth, in through the mouth, but actively. Again, hold the mudra, build it up. You'll start to feel lightheaded, so being you're sat down asana, so if you do feel a bit lightheaded,
all you need to do is just lay back and enjoy the buzz.
Now, if you're not getting the buzz when you're doing any sort of breath work, it's probably you're not practicing it correctly, more than likely, because it should make you feel something in your body. You're basically dispelling carbon dioxide, and then of course, because there's room now for oxygen, you appear to get more oxygen in your system. If you get a little oxygen reader and go and look at the doctors on YouTube talking about this, they'll give you real deep sort of dive stuff about it. But anyway, that's generally what it is. So what's the difference between breath of fire and Wim Hof? Not a lot. So Wim Hof is all the way in and let it go. So that's actively in and let it go. So I'm not actively out. What I'm doing is There you go. Now, it depends how long you've been practicing. I'm showing you the shoulder raise because it works best on the video. It kind of gives you an idea that I'm doing something. You don't have to actively lift your shoulders, but when you breathe in and you fill the bottom section, the middle section, and the top section of your lungs, you should kind of lift a little bit. But you're not doing this. This is not the point. It's not just just lift my no. I'm doing it. I'm breathing. Here's a little tip. If you do the engineering course, one of the things that Sadhguru tells you, which he doesn't tell you anywhere else that I've seen after watching probably 1,000 hours of his videos over 3-4 years, is that when you breathe in through your left nostril, a part of your lungs, a lower part of your lungs is working. When you're breathing through your right nostril, a higher part of your lungs work. Why does that work? No idea. Does it? Feel it. Do it for yourself. Go on. It's a very subtle difference, and if you're not in tune with your body, then you might not feel it, but it's there and it's happening. According to one of the most dedicated yogis you've ever come across, in the form of Sadhguru. The only problem I have with him is that he's a businessman as well, and it really is all about money with the Isha Foundation. No matter what they tell you on the internet, and you type in teacher training course, yoga, 500 hours, whatever style you want, I think you'll find the average price is about £1,000 to £2,000 for about a 30-day course, depending where you are. So that includes not only the course, but it includes the flights there, the accommodation there, the food there. So let's say we're talking £1,000 for 6 months, minus your flights, which is what, 600 quid return if you're lucky. So you're talking over 6 months about, so let's say it's £300 a month, 6 times 3, £1,800. Plus your initial getting out there with your flights, so let's say you pay £1,000, that's £2,800 for 6 months. This is in Rishikesh, the home of yoga. The home of yoga. Rishikesh is in the Himalayas. It's where the Beatles went to. If there's any Beatles fans, they'll know that. I'm not a Beatles fan, but I know that anyway through yoga. I had a trip planned to go to Rishikesh in 2020, but of course then the lockdown happened and the pandemic, so the coronavirus pandemic, so that didn't happen. So I'll go back to the point I started with. It's a pneumatic system, if you like. So pressure, and whenever there's pressure, you've got to be careful. If you've done a bungee jump and your eyes have got a bloodshot like mine did last time, that's the pressure I'm talking about. Well, if you qigong, they're using pressure. Squeeze. It's not dangerous, but it can be if you do it completely wrong, but you'd have to be a bit of an imbecile to do. Breath work with Wim Hof, he'll tell you is what you're doing is you're alkalining your system, your blood. Carbon dioxide is acidic. So basically, that's what you want to do it first thing in the morning for. Get the most benefit throughout the whole day.
In part 3, I'm going to go through 4 rounds of the Wim Hof method. I'll do 1 minute for the first round and then 2 minutes for the final 3. You can find that video, it'll probably be on the cards or in the description. Thanks for watching, subscribe, take care, comment if you love it. If you don't, comment still. Peace out.